Welcome back, everyone, to the Minecraft Forever World Season 1, Episode 4. We're gonna, I suppose, following on from the last video, this is where we left off. This kind of tunnel area that we want to kind of mine down into. So we have our tower over here, and we want to mine down into the kind of or Dwarven city that we're trying to build. So yeah, I've made a small start here. I've got 2 iron pickaxes. I've got 4 stone because I ran out of cobblestone. Tons of wood, tons of sticks. Hopefully we'll find some coal along the way. Um, and unfortunately, unless we find some iron, it's going to have to be stone pickaxes. So the footage is probably going to be quite slow because of that. Um, but I don't think I'll record the whole thing, And I suppose while we're here, I've just noticed something. We're going to need shovels as well to start us off. So um, if you're following the Paleo Pine series, the latest episode talks about this series. I missed I missed 2 weeks now of uploads. So I think I'm still ahead of schedule in terms of my goal of having 55 episodes by the end of the year, or 52, and I think we started in December, so 55 in total. Essentially one a week, and I think I've missed 2 weeks now. And in the Paleo Pines video, I mention briefly kind of why, and that this is the place to find out what actually happened, if you care. So I was about to go off on one, and we broke through here, but probably 4 blocks, and we have run into an issue. So this is going to be harder to build. I was hoping to mine through rock and build a staircase, and now we have to build a staircase into thin air. So maybe we'll pull back and use this wall here as our entrance rather than this wall here. And we're just going to make sure that we have our spawn set. So yeah, I was about to start talking about my friend, and we broke ground. So that's why there's a little bit of a cut there. My, I suppose, long-term friend went to school with this person, secondary school or high school, some people call it. Her stepdad has been ill for quite some time, and you're busy with your own stuff, I suppose, and once you get over the kind of initial news and the when the news breaks and stuff like that, obviously it's more in your face. But the type of illness that this person had, I'm not going to use names just to kind of respect their privacy. Obviously, I don't mind talking about myself and Orla and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm just going to keep them anonymous, I guess, out of respect. But once you get over the initial shock of the news, the type of illness that this person had, it was a long-term illness, with, I suppose, not a high chance of recovery. So, you check in with your friend regularly, if as regular as you can, but life gets in the way and stuff like that. So, I text my friend just kind of randomly, how has this week been? And she had quite bad news. Her stepdad hadn't long left, according to the doctors. I was like, oh my god, okay, well, keep us updated. If there's anything we can do, let us know. All this kind of thing. And she replied shortly afterwards saying that he'd passed. So the time frame that the doctors had given in this new scenario, so he'd been given a time frame, obviously, upon his diagnosis, but then, this new update left him with a greatly reduced life expectancy. A couple days, maybe even 24 hours. And within 4 hours, my friend had replied and said, look, he's gone. So, horrific news for her and her family. Her family have been through a lot in the last couple of years anyway. She lost her mum as well to a similar illness. And just a horrible time for my friend. So that's why I missed an episode. In Ireland, the way it works is within a couple of days, you have a removal a wake is what some people call it, where people can visit the family and give their condolences, and then generally the following day or very soon after there's the funeral. So the night of the removal, my friend is based about an hour's drive from here, so we had to go and see her, and that was a Wednesday, and that's why I didn't record. So that was the first week that I missed, and then I suppose just everything after that, just different bits. Orla and I have been kind of super busy with our mobile. We wanted to have our bathroom fully finished for my friend coming to visit. So my friend, of course, took some time for her and her family. Essentially got their affairs in order and such, and then she wanted to come visit us. So, like, absolutely, of course, we would love to have you, and it's really good for you to, get out of the house and kind of have a new kind of environment and new people to talk to. So we wanted to have our bathroom finished for my friend visiting. So that was one weekend spent basically finishing everything, redoing the shower, painting, laying the floor, everything top to bottom. Then of course my friend actually came and visited, so that was a day where I wasn't going to be recording. And then I think that week or an episode went up late, so say if the week is Monday to Sunday, I missed a week and a video went out the following Monday. And then last week we had my sister's confirmation, and that was a weekend thing. Again, my family live in a different county to me, so Orla and I had to drive to go and visit, and we're not going to drive up for 10 minutes, so we spent the whole weekend. And then of course that's another week gone, so I said it in the Paleo Pines video, these things happen, it's life, and when these kind of things happen, you have to prioritize those people in your lives, and look after them, and essentially put them first. And yeah, that's what we did. And obviously I'm not complaining about that. I'm not saying I regret that or anything like that. I'm just kind of updating you guys. I think a key part of my YouTube journey and my own self care, if you want to call it that, is having the discipline to do one video a week. I'm doing this channel as much. Just gonna pause here. I'm really conscious of just going straight down, so I might start curling, but I also don't want to hit that water by curling prematurely either. Okay, we're gonna step it one to the side and try give it like this kind of wavy, windy effect. And if it looks not great, then well, we'll deal with that afterwards. A side thing of this is obviously getting cobblestone. We finished the last episode with no cobblestone, so after this big endeavor we should have tons, which will give us the ability to amend these kind of things. We can finish our tower, we can make this look more natural. But I'll keep going. Part of this thing, this YouTube channel, is me having the discipline and determination to do one video a week. It's very much like going to the gym. You could go to the gym 4 days in a row, but if you only do that for 1 week of the year, you're not really going to get fitter, So that's what I'm trying to do with this channel, is be disciplined and be true to myself and give myself a space to talk and all these things. And as I've mentioned many times before, if anything comes of this YouTube channel, then that's just an added bonus, So, yeah, I'm trying to get back on the horse, trying to get back into the swing of things with uploading, to try and maintain that 2025 goal of, you know, uploading X amount of videos. So yeah, that's the update, I guess. That's the background. And I suppose with someone in your life having loss, it makes you reflect on your own life and your own family and the people that mean something to you and stuff like that. And I was thinking about this video. This is quite. It's not exactly riveting gameplay. You know, how many YouTube videos are out there of someone digging a mine shaft? You know, there's guys on Twitch that stream fucking 12 hours a day doing this kind of thing. If you want to go watch someone mine, I'm probably not the guy for that. But it does need to be done because it's part of this world that we're working on. So I have been thinking a lot about how do I do these videos that's essentially very poor gameplay, and how do I make something of it. And I came up with the idea to kind of talk about this person in my life that recently lost her stepdad. This person that's been through a lot throughout her whole life, but particularly in the last 5 years with losing her mum and now losing her stepdad. Because I suppose I want to recognize her and some other people in my life. And again, I won't name names, but when I met this person, I met her in my first year of high school or secondary school, and I, of course, with the age difference, I am a very different person to who I am now. You know, I'm now much older than I was in my first year of school, or of high school. But what I really mean is that my views on the world, my mood, my personality, I've done a lot of growing in the last couple of years in particular. I've been doing counselling for 3 years now, coming up on 3 years, and that's another video that I'd like to make and talk about with you guys. Because I think it's really important that we talk about counselling and mental health, particularly in young men. These macho men that think they're invincible and you know, they won't get a girlfriend if they talk about their feelings. I do think that's going away. I don't think there's as much of a stigma around that, but Ireland does have a mental health crisis. The supports that should be in place are not in place, and because of that, we have a lot of young people struggling. But that's not the focus of this, I suppose. What I'm trying to get at is basically, I've through counselling and through a lot of work on myself and with Orla supporting me, I've managed to become a person that I like being. When I was in my first year of school, I was quite an angry person. I was quite a hateful person. And this is when I met my friend. And for the first 3 years of school, we weren't friends. We weren't close. We weren't in any classes together, really. And if I were to ask this person, you know, would you ever be friends with me? They would have probably said no. But then in our 4th year of high school, so what we call 5th year, you've 1st, 2nd, and 3rd year, which is called junior certificate, and then you have an optional 4th year, or some people call it transition year or TY. So we jump straight to 5th year. So you go 1st, 2nd, 3rd year, and then you go into 5th year. At least in my school, that's how we called it. So in 5th year, we did have loads of classes together. We were in the same history class. We were in the same physics class and possibly the same maths class. I don't think we were. But through physics and history, I really got to know this person, and she was also friends with a lot of my friends. She actually ended up dating one of my long-term friends in college. So basically from 5th year onwards, we had more interactions, and I was still this horrible, hateful person. My own words, but I would imagine the words of a few others as well. looking back, I really wasn't proud of the person that I'm not proud of the person that I was. And I'm sorry if that game volume is really loud. The water's an absolute nightmare in this game. It always has been, and it always will be. Um, so I suppose, like, why am I talking about this now? You know, and it's not that, you know, I had to do the work. I had to go to counselling. I had to pursue change. I had to be the one that sought out help and support. Um, but this person and a few of my other friends gave me the environment to do that. And it has been quite a long journey. You know, I was in school coming up on 10 years ago. I finished high school, I think. So it's been basically 12 years of a journey from being this hateful person, being this very angry young man, to where I am now today. And there of course has been ups and downs. There's been progress, and then there's been regression. There's been breakups with girlfriends in my life that really had me on the ropes, stuff like that. Um, you know, I didn't have a slam dunk. I didn't start my mental health journey and then all of a sudden I was happy and healthy again. But this person, this is the other side, isn't it? This is our tower is on the other side of this. This is the first lake, I think. This person that I'm talking about, she and a few others in my school gave me the environment and the patience and the support to become this new person. It would have been very, very easy for them to just give up on me and be like, this guy's an asshole. I can't keep listening to him. He's so negative. He's so mean to people, that I want nothing to do with him because I simply can't keep listening to him. And they didn't do that. There were, of course, arguments along the way. You know, there were fallings out. There has been fallings out where, you know, like, I've drifted apart from some of my friends from this time. But the point I'm trying to make is that this person had the patience and gave me the time and the support to grow rather than just drop me. And the person that she lost, both people, her mum and her stepdad, I didn't know them very well. I'd never claimed to know them well. You know, I can feel her sadness without knowing her parents. You know, the loss of a parent is kind of universal, so I can empathize with that even without knowing these people. But what I will say is that they're at least partly responsible for the way this person grew up. They obviously influenced her, and from what I've heard through my friend and through others, her stepdad was such a magnificent man. He was such a kind-hearted man, and so caring and so embracing of life and its challenges. And that has obviously influenced my friend to the point where his positive nature and heart allowed my friend to support me and have patience with me and be kind to me when I really needed it. Because a lot of the time when I would lash out would be because I was upset. I would display it as anger and hate and bitterness, but ultimately I was upset. I was insecure. I was alone, or at least feeling lonely. And yeah, I suppose without knowing her stepdad personally very well, I suppose this is a testament to him and my friend. A call out, if you will. Um, Although he's gone, you know, he lives on through my friend and her sisters and everyone else that he touched in his life. There's loads of at his removal, he had lots of students attend. He was a lecturer, and a lot of students went to his removal just to say, like, he was my favorite lecturer, and he really helped me during college, um, which again is a testament to his character. So yeah, although he's gone, he kind of lives on through my friend, and through my friend, I've learned to be a kinder person, a more caring person, a more empathetic person. It makes me a better brother to my siblings. It makes me a better partner to Orla. And if I do have kids one day, I'm sure it'll make me a better dad as well. And again, I've had to do the work. It's not this magical equation that one day you wake up and you decide, I want to be happy. It's a really, really difficult thing to do, and I don't want to undermine that for a second. I'm still on my mental health journey. I still do counselling once a week. But my friend's dad, or stepdad, his influence in my friend has touched. It has grown wider than I think he could possibly comprehend. And it really, I suppose, goes to show that if you do one small act of kindness per day, you don't know the kind of positive impact that can have. If you're kind to someone in a supermarket, they might go home and be kinder to their husband, or their brother, or their son, or whatever. So yeah, I suppose in light of a very sad event, I've done a lot of reflecting, and yeah, I just want to say thank you to my friend's dad for raising such a spectacular person, that even with the worst kind of person, she was still a good friend, and she still gave me the time of day, basically. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it in the Paleo Pines videos and stuff like that. Come back here a second. In the Paleo Pines videos, we talk a lot about my pets that I've lost over the years, and different stories about their lives and stuff like that. And I've been wondering, how do we kind of mark this one, you know? And I think what a nice idea might be is to commemorate my friend's dad somehow, um, by naming one of our buildings. And the only building we have at the moment is our tower, which isn't even done yet, so it's a little bit premature. But I think it would be nice to commemorate him somehow in our world here. So yeah, I want to have the grand reveal. I don't know where I'm gonna put this sign, to be honest. Maybe I'll just put it here for now. Shovel, clear this out a little bit so we actually have a doorway to come into. And we're gonna put our sign here. And I would like to call this Noel's Tower. Just a little commemoration and a little thank you to my friend and her family, and all the support that she's given me over the years. And I suppose just yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, just if you see someone in school, I know the views on this series are low. I don't have many subscribers, but who knows what'll happen in the next year. The channel might blow up, and there might be someone who goes back and watches these old series. And I'm stalling here because I don't know how to deal with this bloody water. This is a real nightmare. I think we might... Yes, I think we will. I think we will, instead of digging down, we will platform this, cover it up, make it look natural from this side, and then plow into this wall here and dig down, because it goes quite a good bit over there. Damn, this isn't what I wanted to happen at all. How are we looking this way? Yeah, it's still Like we're gonna have to go 30 blocks that way before we can dig down. But c'est la vie. Maybe we can make this into like a big chapel. Orla and I visited the salt mines in Krakow, and massive salt mines there. I don't have the official name of them, but they're very impressive. If you're ever there, you should visit them. 100%. An amazing display of human creativity and stuff like that. So maybe we'll do something like that here. We'll have like a big open space, like a hallway or something with roaring fires or something halfway down our mine shaft. But yeah, if in 5 years' time or whatever, someone might stumble across these videos and it might influence them somehow to be, oh, that sounds like me. I'm a really angry person. I hate the world and I'm always upset. And it's actually it's not the world that's my enemy. It's that I'm feeling lonely, or I have anxiety, or I'm really insecure, or I'm really just missing my ex-girlfriend, or I lost my dog this week and I'm just really sad, and that's coming out as anger. Um, you could have a whole plethora of things. So if you're listening to this, the next time you see someone in need, even if it's a stranger, offer them the hand. Hold the door for someone when you're leaving the bank. Um, you know, Whatever. I don't know. There's so many examples I can give of where small acts of kindness can have the butterfly effect, and one small act of kindness and softness could actually change someone's day or week. Um, and the knock-on effect from that is immeasurable. So, yeah, we officially have a name for our tower, Noel's Tower. Um, and yeah, I'm going to leave it here just because we're coming up on 25 minutes. I'm going to keep going, I think. I might record another episode just to catch up on that 2 week lapse. But yeah, I suppose in the wise words of Harry Styles, treat people with kindness. Find a place to feel good. Mentally, physically, live in peace, be kind, and you don't know, you might end up changing someone's life like my friend did for me. So thanks for listening, guys. I'll speak to you soon, and yeah, look after yourselves. Bye for now.